I want to share something with you today that will change everything you thought you knew about your spiritual identity. For 83 years, I've studied the ancient texts, and what I'm about to reveal has been hidden in plain sight for millennia. But before we begin, I need you to do something right now. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below saying, "I am chosen." Just those 3 words. And subscribe to this channel, because what you're about to discover cannot be found anywhere else. You see, right now, at this very moment, you might be experiencing something strange. A pull. A knowing deep in your spirit that you are different. That you were set apart for something greater. Maybe you've felt like an outsider your entire life. Maybe you've walked through trials that would have destroyed lesser souls. Maybe you've had dreams, visions, experiences you can't explain to anyone because they simply wouldn't understand. I'm here to tell you that feeling is not random. That separation you felt? It's not punishment, it's preparation. There are 144,000 souls chosen before the foundation of the world. The book of Revelation speaks of them. 12 tribes, 12,000 from each tribe, sealed with the mark of the living God on their foreheads. For centuries, scholars have debated who these chosen ones are, where they are, when they will be revealed. But I'm going to tell you something that will shake you to your core. They're already here. You might be one of them. And today, I'm going to show you the hidden signs that prove it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, "Rabbi Shimon, I'm nobody special. I've made mistakes. I've failed. I've struggled financially, spiritually, emotionally. How could I possibly be chosen?" And that, my friend, is exactly the point. Let me take you back. Let me tell you about a man named Gideon. The year is somewhere around 1200 BC. The Midianites have invaded Israel. For 7 years, they've ravaged the land like locusts. Every time the Israelites plant crops, the Midianites sweep in and destroy everything. The people are hiding in caves, in mountain strongholds, terrified and starving. Gideon is threshing wheat in a winepress. You need to understand how strange this is. Wheat is threshed on hilltops where the wind can blow away the chaff. But Gideon is hiding at the bottom of a winepress, terrified the Midianites will see him and take even this small handful of grain. He's the youngest son of the weakest clan in the weakest tribe of Israel. He's nobody. He has nothing. He's literally hiding in a hole in the ground, trembling with fear. And that's when the angel appears. The angel doesn't say, "Greetings, fearful man hiding in a pit." The angel says, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Mighty warrior? Gideon looks around. Is the angel talking to someone else? He's shaking in his sandals, threshing grain in secret like a criminal. Mighty warrior? And Gideon says something profound. He says, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all the miracles our fathers told us about?" Do you hear the pain in that question? Do you feel it? That's the question of someone who has been waiting for breakthrough. Someone who has been faithful but sees no fruit. Someone who wonders if God has forgotten them. This is where most of you are right now. You've been faithful. You've prayed. You've tithed. You've believed. But the breakthrough hasn't come. The financial miracle hasn't manifested. The healing hasn't arrived. And you're starting to wonder, like Gideon, where are the miracles? You look at your bank account and see lack. You look at your health and see decline. You look at your family and see brokenness. And you think, surely I can't be chosen. Surely the chosen ones have it better than this. But here's what you don't understand. Here's what the enemy has hidden from you. The chosen ones are always hidden in the winepress first. They're always the youngest son of the weakest clan. They're always the ones nobody expects. Because God doesn't choose based on your current circumstances. He chooses based on your eternal identity. Listen to what happens next. God tells Gideon to tear down his father's altar to Baal, to cut down the Asherah pole, to build an altar to the true God. This is terrifying. His own father is a Baal worshiper. The whole town worships Baal. If Gideon does this, they might kill him. But Gideon obeys. He takes 10 servants and does it at night. And when the town wakes up and sees what happened, they demand Gideon's death. But his father Joash says something remarkable. If Baal is a god, let him defend himself. This is the first sign you're among the chosen. You have the courage to tear down false altars, even when it costs you everything. How many of you have had to walk away from toxic relationships? How many have had to leave churches that were feeding you poison instead of truth? How many have had to stand alone, against family, against friends, against the crowd? Because you knew something was wrong, even when you couldn't articulate it. That's not rebellion. That's the seal of God on your forehead. That's the mark of the chosen. Now Gideon gathers an army. 32,000 men show up. Finally, Gideon thinks, we have a chance. But God says no. There are too many. Send home everyone who is afraid. 22,000 leave. Now there are only 10,000. And God says it's still too many. Take them to the water. Watch how they drink. Those who kneel down to drink, send them home. Keep only those who lap the water like a dog, staying alert, staying watchful. 300 men remain. 300 out of 32,000. God says, with these 300, I will save you. This is the second sign. You are part of the remnant. You are part of the few. You have been refined, tested, reduced to nothing in the eyes of the world, so that when the victory comes, everyone will know it was God, not you. Let me read you something from the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verses 2 through 4. Then I saw another angel ascending from the rising of the sun, with the seal of the living God. And he called with a loud voice to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm earth and sea, saying, do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. And I heard the number of the sealed, 144,000, sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. The seal on the forehead. This is not a physical mark you can see in a mirror. This is a spiritual seal. It means you belong to God. You are marked as His property, protected, set apart, holy. In Hebrew, we call this kadosh. It means holy, but the root meaning is separate, to be set apart from the common, from the profane, from the ordinary. If you have felt separate your entire life, congratulations. You're kadosh. You're holy. You're chosen. Now let me show you the third sign. Look at Revelation 14, verse 4. It is these who have not defiled themselves with women, for they are virgins. It is these who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. People have argued for centuries about whether this means literal virginity. Let me tell you what this really means. In the prophets, unfaithfulness to God is always described as spiritual adultery. To defile yourself with women, in this context, means to chase after the false gods of this world. To prostitute yourself to mammon, to fame, to power, to pleasure. The 144,000 are virgins in this sense. They have kept themselves pure from the worship of false gods. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes, even when he leads them through the valley of the shadow of death, even when he leads them into the winepress, even when he reduces their army from 32,000 to 300. Have you followed God into places that made no sense? Have you obeyed when obedience seemed like financial suicide? Have you tithed when you couldn't afford it? Have you given when logic said to hoard? Have you worshipped when everything in you wanted to complain? That's the third sign. You follow the Lamb wherever he goes. Let me tell you about 3 people I've met who discovered they were among the 144,000. Sarah, a 68-year-old widow from Tennessee, wrote to me last month. For 15 years after her husband died, she struggled financially. Social Security wasn't enough. Her retirement had been wiped out in 2008. She was living on $847 a month, choosing between medicine and food. She felt abandoned by God. But she never stopped tithing. She never stopped praying. She never stopped believing. One morning, she woke up at 3 a.m. with a phrase burning in her spirit. "You are sealed." She didn't know what it meant, but she wrote it down. That same day, she received a letter from a lawyer. A distant relative she'd never met had passed away and left her $286,000. Within 1 month, her entire financial situation was transformed. But more than that, she said the poverty had been preparation. It had burned away everything false. It had made her kadosh. Marcus, a 71-year-old veteran from Georgia, had been battling PTSD for 40 years. The VA couldn't help him. Therapy didn't work. Medication made it worse. He was on the verge of ending his life when he heard a voice say, "You are mine. You are marked. You are sealed." He broke down weeping. He said he felt a physical sensation on his forehead, like someone was touching him. From that moment, the nightmares stopped. The panic attacks ceased. He said it was as if the war had been erased from his nervous system. He now counsels other veterans and tells them about the seal of God. Ruth, 77 years old from Ohio, had been estranged from her children for 12 years. They had rejected her faith, mocked her beliefs, and cut her out of their lives. She spent those 12 years praying and fasting. Then one night she dreamed she was standing with a great multitude before the throne of God, and each person had a glowing mark on their forehead. When she woke up, all 3 of her children called her the same morning. Each one, independently, said they needed to talk to her. Within 6 months, all 3 had reconciled with her and returned to faith. Do you see the pattern? The chosen ones go through a period of intense isolation, testing, and preparation. They are hidden. They are refined. They are reduced to nothing. And then, suddenly, God reveals who they really are. Now let me give you the practical steps to activate this seal in your life. First, you must renounce every false altar. Sit down with paper and pen. Ask the Holy Spirit to show you every area where you have been serving false gods. Money? Write it down. Approval of others? Write it down. Comfort. Security. Control. Write them all down. Then ceremonially tear up that paper and declare out loud, "I serve only the living God." Second, you must embrace the reduction. Stop fighting the process that has made you small in the eyes of the world. God is taking you from 32,000 to 300, from much to little, from many to few. This is not punishment. This is purification. Thank Him for it. Third, you must declare your identity. Every morning for the next 30 days, stand in front of a mirror and say these words. I am sealed with the seal of the living God. I am kadosh. I am set apart. I am chosen. I am one of the 144,000. Fourth, you must begin to walk in the authority of the chosen. You are not a victim. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are a mighty warrior hiding in a winepress, about to be revealed. Begin to speak to your mountains. Command your breakthrough. Declare your victory. Now let me tell you what to expect when you do this. In the first 3 days, you will feel resistance. The enemy knows what's happening. He will throw everything at you to make you doubt. Ignore him. Keep declaring. Between days 4 and 7, you will begin to feel a shift. Your spirit will start to align with your true identity. Old insecurities will lose their power. Old fears will begin to dissolve. Between days 8 and 14, you will start to see signs in the natural realm. Unexpected checks in the mail. Calls from people you haven't heard from in years. Doors opening that were previously locked. This is the seal becoming visible in your circumstances. Between days 15 and 30, you will experience acceleration. Things that have been stuck for years will suddenly break loose. Relationships will heal. Finances will shift. Health will improve. This is not random. This is the power of knowing who you are. Let me read you Psalm 91, starting at verse 9. Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. This is the promise over the chosen ones. The 144,000 have angel armies assigned to them. Not one angel, legions. Because they carry something precious. They carry the seal of God. They carry the authority to stand in the last days and not be moved. You have been wondering why your life has been so hard, why you've faced opposition others don't face, why the enemy has attacked you so relentlessly. Now you know. He can see your forehead. He can see the seal. He knows who you are, even if you've forgotten. But today, you remember. Today, you wake up to your true identity. Today, you step into your calling as one of the 144,000 chosen ones sealed before the foundation of the world. So right now, I want you to type in the comments, "I am chosen." Let that declaration go forth into the atmosphere. Let heaven hear it. Let hell tremble at it. And before you go, subscribe to this channel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Because there are others out there who don't know yet. Others who are still hiding in the winepress, thinking they're nobody. You now carry the responsibility to wake them up. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And may the seal of the living God rest upon your forehead all the days of your life. This is Rabbi Shimon. Remember, you are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are among the 144,000. Now go forth and walk in that authority. Shalom.